What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to the Bear Reviews channel. Today we're doing a knife overview. If you like this knife or the other knives that I use to compare it to, feel free to click on the links below in the video description. All right, let's dive into this one. I really like this knife. This is a zero tolerance knife. It is the 0350 Tiger Stripe pattern knife by Zero Tolerance, or ZT. Let's do some size comparisons here. So we've got the Spyderco Mannix. Mannix is going to come in just a tad shorter, not quite as bulky. Let's do it up against the Civivi Imperium. The Imperium is going to come in slightly longer. Of course, it's more of a gentleman's knife, so it's not going to be nearly as large of a presence. Let's go ahead and look at it against the Buck Sprint Pro. The Sprint Pro is going to be much more compact, of course. And let's see, let's do some bigger knives here. Let's go with the Benchmade Barrage. The Barrage is going to be slightly longer, about the same size handle. So the Barrage is going to be a little bit bigger of a knife. And then last but not least, for a good perspective on size, the Cold Steel Recon 1. That one shows you how small every other knife is. No, I like using it because it just gives you good perspective that it's not overwhelmingly big. Okay, so diving into this ZT. This is the second ZT knife that I've gotten a hold of, and I really like it. Comes really sharp out of the box, and that is something that I really look for when I get a new knife. What's it going to be like for sharp? It's S30V steel, so it's a good premium high-end steel. It's going to hold an edge well. It has just a very nice edge on it. On the blade itself, that's what's going to draw a lot of people to this knife. That tiger stripe pattern is kind of unique out there, and it looks really cool. And then the blade has the little wave pattern to it there, kind of a curve, and dips down here in the belly. That makes it really nice for carving on stuff. Anything where you're gonna kind of push to cut kind of deal. It's really nice. Now, it's a lot like a Kershaw Blur. I should have used that as size comparison because they're similar. The Blur is smaller, about the same length, but a little bit smaller in the handle, a little smaller in the blade. But anyway, my point is they got a very similar design there, with the blade being kind of that S pattern. I imagine that'd be really hard to sharpen. I don't like sharpening knives though, and this Zero Tolerance knife, when I got it, I was surprised to learn Zero Tolerance actually has a sharpening program for as long as you have the knife, so you can send it in to get sharpened by them. I haven't explored it. I imagine it's similar to Benchmade, where you send it, you pay to ship it, and then they send it back. And so I really like that. I think that's pretty cool that when you pay this much for a knife, you get that kind of customer service after the sale. That's really nice. Ergonomics on this knife, they are really good. I wish it was just a little longer, but they're really good. The reason why I wish it was a little longer, I've got fairly big hands, and my pinky does kind of feel like it wants to fall off the end there. So, maybe, wish they would have done some jimping or something there, but whatever. Other than that, it's got really good ergonomics. The jimping on the top of the blade for the thumb is really nice. It does have jimping back here on the heel. Not really sure. I guess when you're deploying the knife, it goes in the palm of your hand nice, so that part's good. let's see. The blade is locked in with this liner lock there, and it's a nice one. It doesn't pop out too much and make it a sticky shut. You can get it out of the way really good, but it comes over really nice. It's very reliable feeling to me. Doesn't feel like the knife is going to fold over on you at any point. It's very strong feeling. So I really like this liner lock. And let's talk about the deployment of this blade. So this is a spring assist, and you can deploy it a few different ways. You got the flipper here. It's a big flipper, and it will fire out there really nice. And other knives that I've got with flippers like the Buck Sprint Pro, size comparison wise on the flipper tab, this is a pretty big flipper. I guess the Buck Sprint Pro is good size too, but this one just feels, way thicker and bulkier. So you might notice it a little bit in the pocket, but it's nice to get a good leverage point and fire it out there on. So you're gonna like that part of it. Now you also have thumb studs, which I kind of find interesting that they gave you both options. Dual thumb studs, and they are really recessed in there. They're pretty even with the scales on this knife, and my video is not going to do it justice, but I guess the thing about it, if you got bigger thumbs, it's going to be a little trickier to get in there and give it that flick. I mean, I've gotten used to it, so I'm pretty good at it now, but they're not giant thumb studs compared to like the Barrage, where they seem to stick out a little better, and you get the ability to really easily push up and fire it out there. So these thumb studs are, they're just different. I don't mind them, but here's where you really notice it. If you are in a reverse flicking, I can't do it. I'm trying really hard. I can't get my middle finger there to get enough leverage to push it out, whereas on my Barrage, I can do that all day. So something to take note of if you're really into that. But yeah, you definitely can use it as a way to open it. Now the spring assist is great. It's very strong, fires the blade out really well. I know some people out there don't like the spring assist. So yeah, it's there. I guess it's probably not totally necessary, definitely, especially since you got the nice flipper tab. But I happen to like it. I think it's a pretty cool feature for this knife. Let's see what else have I got here on it. It does have a nice liner in it. A little bit of no skeletonization in there. Thought this one did, but it doesn't. It's got a pretty solid back to it, which I like. So this knife is really solid. It is heavy. I'll put the weight of it in the video description, but this is going to be a heavier feeling, heavier carry knife. Now I like that. I like a more solid feeling to a knife, so you're going to get that here. I realize not everybody's going to be into that, but for me, I really like it. Okay. Pocket clip. I did not put the pocket clip on. I always take all my pocket clips off. If you've seen one of my videos, you know my stance there. Just don't like them. It comes with a pocket clip. That's it. And the nice thing, if you are into pocket clips and you want to change up, how it carries, you can do that with this knife. Not many knives have that. So you can put it back here for tip-up carry, or you can put it up here for tip down carry. So if you're one of those guys that wants to mess around with that, you do have that option. You can also reverse it and put it over on this side. So yeah, you got, those options there with the pocket clip on this knife. So overall, I really like this knife. I carry it fairly frequently. I feel like this would be a knife that you could definitely put through the ringer and it would stand up. I think it makes a fairly good everyday carry. Now, if you're looking for a light everyday carry, this isn't going to be it. But if you are interested in a workhorse that isn't overwhelmingly big but still has some size to it, this is a good option. That blade is going to be very strong for you. Now, they do make it in a non-tiger stripe pattern, so if you're interested in that, that's another option for you. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. Um, Again, links in the video description if you want to take a closer look at it online. Thanks, everyone.